And welcome to today's edition of Route 664, The Road to Human Kindness. I'm Les Winston, and I'm happy to take you down the road to human kindness. The way to get there is using social security, and the theory of social security is 664 equals E squared, where 664 is a section of the tax code that you need to become aware of, and E squared is endowment squared. We want you to use 664 to create an endowment for yourself so that you can live comfortably for a long time, and then at your passing to leave that endowment to the community as a way to solve community problems, creating enough capital so that charitable organizations don't have to raise money anymore. That would be a unique thing. My guest this morning is Luis Gallardo from Miami, and someone who likes to work with words the way that I do. We've created social security, and you've created capitalism. And capitalism is just a phenomenal word. It's obviously a play on capitalism, and that it's a form of an ism. So tell us a little bit about capitalism. Tell me about the importance of the people knowing what capitalism is.
Well, thank you so much for this opportunity. I think that what you are doing is remarkable, and I'm super happy to be here and support that. We are non-for-profit as well, so we'll benefit a lot from your philosophy.
Good.
Capitalism is basically a new paradigm for human progress, and actually all living beings' progress is based on happiness as the ultimate currency. It's not money, it's not the wealth, is not a success defined by fame, power, and money. It's very much how we can be as free, balanced, and living in harmony with all living beings as we can. So capitalism is an energy, is a new paradigm, is a system that actually I presented last week in Washington to all the United States mayors. Mm-hmm. In order to organize their cities. As you know, there is a humanitarian crisis right now in the United States, in so many cities, with so many people living in the streets, yes. Mental health issues. And there is a lot of correlation as well with all this pressure that everybody feels about debt, about mental health issues related to uncertainty. So basically, capitalism is a system where we want to basically people feel in harmony and freedom, and we can go deeper into what it means, but it's basically this new system where people can really be.
Yeah, we one of the things that we talk about on Route 664, The Road to Human Kindness, is that people need to be able to be happy, that they need to be able to be comfortable with themselves and what they're doing. And we use a pyramid. We use a confidence pyramid to kind of define that, where the base of the confidence pyramid is actually confidence over money. And confidence over money is different than striving to be ultra wealthy. It just means that you know that you have what you need and that you're not going to run out of it, and that you could be comfortable about that. And then once you do that, you go up the pyramid to the confidence over time and relationships, and then you get to spirituality. And at the very top, you get to the genius. Working your genius is something that it sounds like you are enjoying right now. You have a genius for this capitalism, and you exude it, which is a great thing. And how are you spreading the word, Luis? How are you letting people know about what you're doing?
Well, thank you so much for that, and I completely agree with you. If we are able to embrace and embody kindness, compassion, gratitude, happiness, that's the beginning. So actually, this is our focus. Our focus is spreading the word by training, by exposing people to what it means to live with a moral leadership based on kindness, gratitude, happiness, and compassion. So we have a huge festival, the World Happiness Fest, And this year is going to be in Miami, Florida. Yeah, because we managed to get the United Nations pass one important resolution, which is celebrating happiness on International Day of Happiness, which is March 20th. So that happened 10 years ago.
Okay.
So this is one date that actually last week I invite all mayors in the United States to create proclamations because March 20th now officially is being around and is celebrated all around the world. So we are an international foundation and we have chapters in 80 countries.
Wow.
So we do festivals during March 20th everywhere around the world.
That's a big organizational, that's a huge organizational project. Requires a lot of organization. It's interesting to me, the ability of people to be happy. Abraham Lincoln said, "You're as happy as you make up your mind to be." And so I think that when you start with the idea that you can be happy, that you can be happy by being happy and choosing to be happy about your life, as opposed to not being happy about your life, it's a really powerful motivation because it's simple. I think that you're expressing something that's really important. It is simple to be happy, isn't it?
Yeah, something that we have discovered over a lot of research is that the pursuit of happiness is the key. It's really embracing and embodying happiness. So what we say is, it's not about being happy, it's about being happiness. When we are happiness, that's the moment where we can make a difference. Because we don't keep happiness for ourselves, we become it. And when we become happiness, then we exude and we are able to share it. And this is why happiness is so strategic, because the more we share it, the more positive impact we are making around us, in our families, in our communities. And it has a ripple effect. It's the same as unhappiness. Unhappiness has a ripple effect.
How do you control that, Luis? How do you make that a controlled event so that people actually have a way of pursuing happiness? I mean, it's part of our documents, our founding documents, that we are, it's life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And so that it's not something that is to be taken lightly. It's a very important part of our founding. And so how do you get people to do that? How do you get them to enter into the pursuit of happiness?
Yeah, this is a fantastic question. And this is what actually we try to help people with. There are at least three stages that we can work on. The first one is awareness. And this is very important. We have to be aware about why we feel the way we feel, because happiness is a state of mind. Mm-hmm. And it's like a wave. At some point, we are in the summit, at some point, we are in the valley, and it's always going to be fluctuating. It's going to be ups and downs. It's not flat. So that's the first thing. We have to understand that happiness is not flat. It's not possible to be happy every single minute. And we are going to be going up and down, and it's going to be combined with many other emotions. Because people think that the opposite to happiness is sadness. No, the opposite to happiness is unhappiness. The opposite
is not being happy about anything.
Exactly. And the opposite to sadness is not sadness. So there's a whole spectrum of emotions, and we are not even aware of that. So we have to be very aware about why we feel the way we feel. And the only way we can do that is by understanding what's going on. So we have to stop. We have to breathe. We have to meditate on what's going on, and then we have to understand. But the understanding is coming after we become aware of what's going on. And this is something very difficult for many, many, many people. People get angry and they don't know why.
Yeah.
So we have to stop. In that moment, we have to stop and think, why am I going this? So this is just the first level. Once you move on, and
so where do you go after awareness? Once the person becomes aware and centered, what happens then?
Yeah, this is fantastic. So the first step is what? Is what's going on. That's awareness.
Mm-hmm.
The second step is why. Why is this happening? Where is this feeling coming from? And that's what we call mindfulness. Mm-hmm. So mindfulness is not just a meditation technique, it's a whole mindset. Is why is this going on? And I go deep. Normally we try to understand things by looking outside. It's like my neighbor is not behaving well. The government is not doing this right. The traffic is too bad. But actually,
you're making me very unhappy, Luis.
But actually, when we understand that everything is in us, that's the moment where we start saying, okay, we might have this government, but actually, why am I feeling the way I'm feeling? Right. Because of that. And that's the exploration we have to do. So that's where we go to the why. And we go to the mindfulness stage. And then the third stage is the whole transcendence space. It's what you call genius. You call genius. It's like, how do we get to a genius state, to a transcendence state? Because we know the what, we know the why, and then we are conscious about the decisions that we are going to be making based on the why and the what. And we are not going through life like Walking Dead, because most people are moving on in autopilot. People don't know really why they do what they do, and
I think you hit on something. What you said before about the government is really something that is extremely important right now in our time, where we have so much input being put on people. There's so many impulses that are sent to them, and people actually, I believe, because they're in some ways they're not hypnotized, but they're attracted to listening to news and listening to what's being told to them, and that interferes with their ability to actually feel happiness, because they're being disoriented in a way from themselves. So how do you orient back to yourself? Are there techniques like journaling or something like that?
Yeah, journaling is fantastic. Something very important we have to be aware is that, and there is a lot of research behind this, is only 3 minutes of negative news in the morning create a state of really bad mood for us for more than 3.5 hours.
Wow, that's a big ratio.
Because our body is going to segregate cortisol. And cortisol is very much related to the state of anxiety related to insecurity. Mm-hmm. So there are many chemicals. The body is segregating chemicals. So this is one technique. It's actually feeling how even the tension of the skin is changing when we are facing negative news. Mm-hmm. So we are aware. So that requires, and we call it three-stage contemplation technique. So you are going to stop, you are going to make a pause, you are going to breathe. So if there is one technique that people really need to use, is the breathing technique, just breathing. Mm-hmm. And people normally, when they get anxious, they stop breathing. You don't even realize that you have stopped breathing. Mm-hmm. Well, we have to have a really harmonic breathing. And there is a movement which is, the cadence is 6-4-6-4. So you breathe in.
Wow. Hold on a minute. 6-4-6-4. I love that.
There we go.
64.
Exactly. But the 64 is so key because you breathe in for 6 seconds.
Yeah.
You hold the breath for 4 seconds. And you breathe out for 6 seconds. Uh-huh. And you hold the breath for 4 seconds.
Okay.
So it's the 64-64. So just that.
I got goosebumps.
Just that in 3 minutes change completely the way your body is metabolizing chemicals.
That's fantastic. That's a great thing to know. Thank you. Louis, that's just phenomenal. That's going to help us a lot with getting people to accept 664. So it's 6 times 64. That's all. Six fours. 664 is 60.
Love it. Exactly. Yes, that's the first step.
So Louis, I mean, this is a fantastic opportunity for people to heal themselves, basically by doing some very simple exercises. They sound like they're very simple exercises that you help them to get reoriented, let's go back to I like the World Happiness Fest. That is going to be on the March 20th. Is that what it is? March 20th.
Yeah, we do the whole week, but actually the in-person festival, if somebody wants to join us in Miami, will be the 23rd, 24th, and 25th of March. Fantastic.
I'd love to be able to be part of that.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Because we're all about happiness. Happiness comes from, we think kindness is also one of the ways to get happy, but you can't be kind unless you're kind to yourself first. So we want to make people let people be happy because they have the right to be happy and they can choose to be happy, and they just need to straighten out the way they are. They can move from one side of the ledge to the other is basically what you're saying. They can embrace capitalism as simply as becoming happy with themselves and being able to see where they are. So my guest is Luis Gallardo, and Luis is the originator of the term capitalism, I assume, right?
Yep.
I haven't heard that before anywhere. And you're a mentor and a coach, and you have been in that role for a long time. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about young people, our young people. Do you think they're happy?
Well, the younger you are, the happier you are. We are absolutely born pure, the inner child, and there are many adults that keep a really healthy inner child. It's absolutely happy.
A child when they're born, is born happy, to believe that there's no reason for them to be unhappy.
No reason, of course.
Why do they cry?
Yes, this is a great question because they want to get attention.
Okay.
They want to get attention because otherwise they cannot survive.
Okay.
And this is actually the origin, and this is one of my theories, the origin of many of the issues that we face in the world. Because, you cry in order to get attention, because that attention is going to save you. Mm-hmm. So if you don't have a mother and you don't have love, you are really going to struggle in life, because you are not going to be having the love and the care that we are naturally born to have. So you are crying, you are attracting that attention. That attention is saving you. At some point in life, we keep demanding attention. And that creates an attachment, an emotional attachment to attention. But there is a moment in life where we don't need more attention because we are already independent in order to forge and to live alive. That's the moment where we have to do the exercise of detachment, because that's why when we have a secure base, a secure base, the second major factor for overall happiness is appreciation. We need to be seen. We need to be acknowledged. And that's based to this attachment that we are creating since we are since we are babies in order to survive. So that's why we cry. Actually, kids cry as well because they are hungry or because they are uncomfortable with the situation. But this is
those are physical needs that they have. Let me progress you just a little bit more because we're going to run out of time. This is fascinating, a really interesting interview. Luis, thank you for providing us your time. When the children reach school age, do you believe that the way that the schools are systematized now, do you think that they are striving to have the kids be happy, or they don't care?
Yeah, this is a great question because there are different systems. There are different education systems. We don't only have one system. And depending on where we live, the education system is going to be very different. But if we talk about a standardized education system, well, it's really definitely lacking the emotional intelligence, the socio-emotional intelligence that we've been demanding for many, many years. It's improving. It's definitely improving. But we believe that happy teachers change the world. In order to have happy teachers, they have to be seen. They have to be acknowledged. And those happy teachers are going to be doing the social-emotional learning that the kids need. What we call soft skills are becoming the real skills of life. If we don't have those soft skills, and those are listening, being aware of who we are and our emotions, being self-sufficient to manage those emotions, working in teams, being kind, using gratitude, building hope. I mean, all this that sounds like religious stuff is the essence of human development, and is not part of the core of the curriculum.
Well, I think that there is an attachment for people to have the knowing that there is a higher power, whatever they believe that to be, and in some cases the higher power can be their happiness. And so we have a lot of ways to deal with what you're talking about. My guest is Luis Gallardo, and Luis, I'd love to have you back for another session. This has been very, very fascinating. And we know that people, when they're kind to others and they do strive to help others, that their happiness is definitely an end result of that. And that's one of the things we want to stress in the world. But people need to be able to be confident over certain parts of their life, and that enables them to be happy. So, what's the thing that you look forward to most every day, Luis? What rings your bell during the day? What makes you feel really good?
Well, I personally love talking and interacting with people that are struggling, that are facing issues, because I love to have conversations and help them change their mindset. So, because you see the switch very quickly. And when people switch and people make that effort to actually see things from another angle, they get very quickly into another state, a state of balance, a state of harmony. So that moves me every day. And I like to do this one-on-one, and I like to do this with thousands of people when they come to the festivals. So I really, really enjoy seeing how people can maximize their unlimited potential once they believe that they can do it and they make the switch.
Perfectly worded, Luis, and I hope people take that to heart, because that's what this is all about. This is Route 664, the Road to Human Kindness, and you can also get all of this information and listen to these interviews as they replay on our radio station at route664.org.
Yeah. Hey, Luis, what happens at World Fest Happiness? What kind of stuff happens at the festival?
We have about 85 or 90 speakers, but it's not a talk show, it's not a congress, This is really workshops. So we do a lot of workshops, and then we have Zumba, yoga, we integrate arts, movement with research. So this is at the Florida International University campus. So it's a university setting, but it's in nature, it's beautiful, and we do a lot of workshops.
Which FIU campus are you on? North campus or the South campus?
It's the South on BBC, Biscayne Bay campus. So it's by the bay.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful campus. It's all in nature.
Beautiful. Very nice. Thank you for joining us today on Route 664, the Road to Human Kindness. Luis Gallardo. And hopefully we will see you at the World Happiness Fest.
Yes, please. Yeah, please. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You ever just want to tune out the world and relax? Then you've come to the right place. At Route664.org, we've got great music that will keep you entertained for hours, and uplifting conversation that will make you feel good about yourself and the world. So come on in and take a load off. We won't judge here. Route664.org.
We've got best-selling authors.
You are going to start to uncover all the layers that are covering your genius.
And some of the world's top leadership experts.
We have structured a mastermind program that is very unusual and it is very powerful.
Robin Sharma at noon.
Your creativity will soar, your productivity will be epic, your impact will be legendary, you will be the best in the business, and you will not only achieve remarkable things, but you're going to feel sunsets. You'll feel a connection to people. You'll feel for what's going on in the world, and that will make you a world changer in your own unique way.
Robin Sharma at noon at 4 p.m.
It's a
Blaine Bartlett.
exploration of what it takes to be a highly effective leader in today's fast-changing environment.
Best-selling author, executive and leadership coach.
And if you've been liking what you've been listening to on these Soul of Business podcasts, how does one become a leader that can keep connection to the soul of business?
Blaine Bartlett at 4 p.m.
Look forward to seeing you there.
At Route664.org. This is Route 664 Radio.